Now, here we have one of these comments that is incredibly annoying to say the least, and it's one of these comments that I just don't have a whole lot of patience for. And you'll understand why before I'm done. But it goes like this. Would she approve of the memoir? And we're talking about my wife's book that's coming out in the next week or so. It's called Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism. It was the story of my wife's 20-year decline with alcoholism, and ultimately she passed away from the disease 4.5 years ago. And would she approve of the memoir? Obviously not. She's no longer here. So even in the book, I say that she wouldn't approve it. That's one of the last parts of the book. She would have not liked being exposed. As any alcoholic, they would not like to be exposed and be dissected and have their life analyzed in as depth as I've gone into with her life and dissected the good, the bad, and the ugly. But here's the thing, and let's continue the conversation because she's not here. And if she was, there wouldn't be a memoir. And of course, the better outcome would be that she survived, got better, and stopped drinking and got it into remission and in recovery. Unfortunately, in her case, it was not possible. She just never was able to accept recovery. She wanted to drink more than she wanted to recover, and I think just physically, chemically, emotionally, it just become part of who she was for the vast majority of her life. And for whatever reason, she just wasn't able to overcome it, and she got too deep down into the disease, and to the point where it did cause her to pass away. It affected every organ in her body and eventually her brain. And it's very unfortunate. But here's the thing, dissecting her life, bringing her life out into the forefront and talking about this disease helps hundreds, thousands, and eventually millions of other people, families, anybody who's thinking about drinking, maybe somebody who's on the fence and they realize, wow, this is the direction I'm going, or this might be the direction I might be going. Maybe I should read this and go, you know what, I don't want to go in that direction. Wow, maybe I'm going to save myself, maybe my family, a whole lot of hardship, maybe the next generation and the next generation after that, because I was able to get this disease nipped in the bud so that I didn't procreate and create this same malady for generations that come after me. Okay, these are the repercussions for doing nothing. So putting a memoir out here like this, putting my own head on the chopping block, I'm willing to do because I know it helps other people. Now let's read the rest of this. Now this seems a bit extreme, now talking about my wife, so just my opinion. Hopefully the proceeds are going to charity. Now let's talk about this a little bit on the next segment. As far as charity, everything connected to my wife really has already been given away to charity. I had a BMW X5 that I donated to Cars for Kids about a year after she passed away. All of her clothes, and she had about 1,000 items, was donated to the Betty Ford Clinic in Palm Desert. In fact, her good friend who was a patient there helped me take them down. It took 2 carloads to bring all her clothes there in big bags. And they went for the women there because there's a lot of women there who are very in need of clothes, all kinds of clothes, shoes, belts, dresses, pants, shirts. I mean, you name it. There was a lot of items that I donated, probably thousands of dollars worth of items. The car, I don't even want to get into how much that was worth, but I didn't want it around anymore. I didn't want that ghost around, and I knew that it would help kids. So I donated it to Kids for Cars. The story of her life, I donating, some people donate heart or liver or a kidney or something to when they pass away, and the family decides it's okay to do that to help somebody else live. So I've dissected her life in the help so that it will help other families, other alcoholics for generations. And I want this book to be kind of a go-to book for people to look at what not to do, and maybe to for themselves to go in a different direction. So in any way to say that it's disrespectful to tell me that it's disrespectful. That means you want to put your head in the sand, you want to keep this disease in the closet, and let's just keep everything the way it is because we shouldn't talk about it because it's an ugly, horrible disease. I could not profoundly disagree with this kind of mentality more than I'm expressing right now. And I hope that makes sense. And then here to suggest that the proceeds should go to charity. Does anybody have any idea what it takes to produce a book? It's about 3.5, 4 years of my life just to get it written, edited, designed. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a team of people that you have to involve to put a book out. And in fact, it's taken me a good 1.5 years, 2 years longer than I thought it would be to take out. I thought you just wrote it and you put it out. You also have to build audiences. You have to do all kinds of sorts of things. I've spoken all over the world. I've done 65 podcasts in 9 different countries. I mean, I've done television. I mean, even recently I've spoken to people who are, heads of rehab facilities. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it. And there's a lot of social media that you have to build up. There's a lot to it. And certainly a large investment on my side. So if you spend something like 3.5, 4 years and you put your heart and soul into something that's going to help people, it needs to be financed, okay? And where do you think that financing comes from? So I guess I should just spend this much of a chunk of my life and just say, hey, everybody, just take it. No, it doesn't work that way. And you also have to build an audience, and to build an audience, that also takes funds. So it's an economy, and you have to create an economy within this project. And that's what it's all about. And for people who have never been an entrepreneur, it's easily to sit back, oh, you should just give the money away. Well, a large part of it will be given away. And a large part of it will be to grow this message, to grow this following, and to grow the reason why this is even started to begin with. And I really hope that makes sense. And again, I have a complete coaching program. It's called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. Link is in the bio. It's set up a breakthrough call. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. We do a deep dive into what's going on with you and your family. Okay, I want to find out someone who's coachable, and I want to find people who are ready to change their lives and the lives of their family. The call is free. The coaching program definitely is not, but we have lots of different options to get involved with us. And again, thanks so much for listening.